Yo everyone, welcome back to another video. And today's video, I'm going to talk to you about something. It's a random topic, but I'm going to start today. It's called TV show reviews, comedy sitcoms, Seinfeld, Friends, and The Big Bang Theory. Let's start one by one. Before we understand all three in detail, first let's see all the similarities in all three of them, because they three are very similar. So the first one is this. First one, relationships, romance. It's in all of them. It's common in most comedy sitcoms, but in these three, it's the most widely used. So yeah, romance. Second, we have random controversial topics, like for example, controversial topics which are random. These are, like for example, in Seinfeld they talk about they could talk about Aquaman, his character, the cape of Superman, and in Friends they could talk about any simple topic like prepare a toothbrush, the name of any famous character, why the name was that, why this. Just so the second common thing is like there are the most random controversial topics, which are in all of these three comedy shows. Of course, is the comedy, the humor, and the unexpected situations, which happen a lot. So now, without further ado, let's start with Seinfeld. Seinfeld is a comedy show. It has lots of comedy, romance, but the thing is, there is no seriousness in it. Now, if I summarize the show in one word, it would be this. Now, you guys remember the episode? For those who watch Seinfeld, there's an episode where Jerry and George go into NBC to make a deal. They wanted to make a show about nothing. It goes like season 4, I think episode 6 or something. It goes from season 4 and it spans throughout season 7 or 8. Not in every episode, but in certain episodes through season 4 and 8 through 8, I think. So in that they talk about a show where they want to make a show about nothing. I think they call the show, the name is Jerry. And the thing is, the show they're describing is exactly how the entire show of Seinfeld, with 9 seasons and 22 episodes, is like. Yes, the show Seinfeld is a show. The show Seinfeld is a show about nothing. Nothing. Let me explain. Basically, it's just like the thing is, it's just a show about life, how life really is, like how even any crazy thing could happen, how any crazy circumstances or situations could happen in a day, and then the next day it's normal. That's kind of how my life is, your life is, everyone's life is. Like I swear, in the show, any episode, even whether it's anything crazy, whether it be that someone ruined a function, someone died due to someone's mistake. Like, how Susan died because George made her lick the envelopes for their marriage, and she died. And what else? When they got to court, it was in the last episode, season 9, episode 22, the last episode of the series, where they went to court because they did a wrong thing. It's called the Good Samaritan law. They violated that. Yeah. So, but the thing is, the show could still could have continued after that crazy thing. I know the last episode was crazy, like they went to court, they went into jail. But the thing is, they could have still continued the show. Yeah, they really, like, because even after any crazy circumstance, the next episode just happens to be something new, a new fresh day, something else. It goes back to normal in the starting, and then after that something crazy happens. It's like this show could have had 1,000 episodes, seasons, because it's just about how life is, and humans live up to like almost 70, 80, 90, 100 years, and the show is just based on like how what happens in everyday life's drama and stuff, comedy and all that. And so every crazy situation you see, for Seinfeld, it's a completely normal thing. It's very Seinfeld. For us, it may seem obnoxious. In the perspective of other humans and other TV shows, comedy sitcoms, it could seem obnoxious, and they could be like, hey, that's so crazy, I think the show has to end there. But Seinfeld, Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld, the owners of the show, they're like, nah, we can't. It's not gonna end like that. It's just a normal thing for us. That's how they designed the show. The characters, they're designed to be normalized in such activities. And But it's like, but still, no matter how crazy it is, at the end of the day, they still have each other, all four of them together. So that's the thing. Yeah. Now let me give a brief character sketch about all four characters. Let me say this first. I know all the characters are not reasonable. They're not responsible. Yeah, and yeah, and the thing is, yeah, they all are very nuanced. The show's nuanced, and yeah, I forgot to mention, yeah, all three shows I'm talking about also nuanced. Okay, yeah. Anyways, back to the Seinfeld show. What I was going to talk about, the character sketch of all four main characters. Now, what I'm going to say is, none of them are responsible. They don't take any credit. I mean, they're not that responsible. They don't really mature a lot, and stuff. You get that? But I would have to say, even though these four are not responsible, none of them hold any accountability in any serious manner or whatever, I would say Jerry is at least the most responsible one, composed and calm one. Because I would say, out of the group, he is the most, out of the group only. Out of the entire group, because plus he's the main character, because he has to manage all these things. He's like, you know what, why be more crazy and be like those people? There should be at least one calm, composed person who has to maintain all these, follow them around, listen to them, and just let someone barge into their house, which is Kramer, of course. And yeah, that's how Jerry is. He's very calm and cool. George, on the other hand, is very, he takes things, he over exaggerates things. He's very like Georgie. Like anything, like anything. Like, for example, suppose, I don't know, we have different type of socks. I need, like, for example, suppose we have an incident where some objects, and they're placed in different order. Just a small thing, the objects of certain types. But George thinks that those objects which they're placed, the order is wrong. Like, he'll make such a big fuss about it. See, for us, that would be a normal thing, but for George, it's normal to make a fuss about it. For others, it may be like, why make a fuss? For George, he's like, you know what, I've got to over-exaggerate this, make a fuss about it. I've got to over-examine it, analyze it, That's very Georgie, what I'm saying. It's very Georgie type. So that's very George for him. Maybe not for others, But yeah, that's how George is. He's a very over-exaggerating person. Kramer, on the other hand, is very, he's so energetic and filled with energy. He just, yeah. I don't know how he does this. It's just like, giddy up, and not to mock. I can't do it very well, but in my mind it was better. But he does it very good. He's very energetic. He just barges into any, like, Seinfeld's door and whatever. He's just very I guess in one phrase, if you could like summarize Kramer, it would be this: he doesn't fear social anxiety. Social anxiety fears him. That's how crazy he is, and fun, and cool, and interesting. But yeah, that's Kramer, the complete opposite of Jerry. Yeah, the complete opposite of Jerry, but for some reason, they're good neighbors. The good neighbors, which is completely normal in Seinfeld, but not for us. It's ironic though, but for Seinfeld, it's very Seinfeldish. That's normal for them. So that's how Kramer is. Elaine, on the other hand, is also kind of like Jerry. They both are same. No, they were exes. Like Jerry, they used to date Jerry and Elaine, but now they're not. I think Elaine is also like she's not very very over exaggerating. Her emotions are not that strong, and sensitivity. She's like Jerry, but I guess I mean, I'm not. She's the only girl in the group, the only female. But I'm not saying that's a factor. But maybe she was like, why be crazy with all these boys? I guess that's what she was thinking. I guess she also wanted to stand out in a way. That's good also. Yeah. So I guess Jerry and Elaine are similar, while George and Kramer are similar. We have connections. So yeah, Seinfeld in a nutshell, and where all these background info and character sketch of them and background info of all of them. They then there are certain episodes where even it could be about a relationship, marriage. I mean, not marriage. Marriage is very rare. Relationships, then breakups, relationships, dealing with breakups, then talking to someone. They mainly talk with Jerry because Jerry is the main character, and he's a good friend. And Jerry is just everyone. He's someone who all the three main cast members would like to just spill the tea to, like talk to Jay about, because he's very. I guess he's that person where he's very dependable on. Like, he can give good advice, listens well, That's the type of person the three other members want, the main members. So yeah. And then in all of these fiascos, in any situation, the craziest one, they go and talk to Jerry. It could be anything, whatever, any crazy. And sometimes Jerry does talk to them. They're like interdependent, I guess. And then no matter how crazy the situation gets, it's all very Seinfeldish. It's normal. The show could have went on, but of course, Seinfeld and Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah, the show depended on Jerry Seinfeld. If he quit, the show would end. And I guess he decided to say on season 9, episode 22, that what, I quit. We can't do the show. And people might think, why quit on not on season 10, or season 9, episode 20, or like an even number, like which is like a common number, like episode 20 or something. But why 22? That's the thing. But for us it's abnormal. But for Seinfeldish, for Seinfeld, it's very normal. Yes. And when I mean Seinfeld, I talk about the whole TV show Seinfeld. For the cast of Seinfeld, for everyone in Seinfeld, it's very normal. Yeah, because even the thing is, I guess in my opinion, the show was decided to end. I think it was decided to end the show at season 9, episode 22, because it's random, and it kind of depicts how the show is. It's very random, normal, random things. So yeah, I think that was a good way to end the show. Just a random, chaotic scene, which is very normal for them. For us, it may not, but for them, it's very normal. On a casual, random number, random season, 9, 22, random numbers, and yeah, they just ended like that. Now that's what you call a classic Seinfeld show. Very Seinfeldish. Any show like this is very Seinfeldish type. There's not many shows like that. But yeah, that's the most ironic plot twist. So that's how Seinfeldish is. Now, let's move on to Friends. Now the thing is, in Seinfeld, they didn't have there's not much compassion. Like even if something crazy happened to anyone, they would be like, oh, you okay? Because that's what society wants. Looks like, basically, I think this is common in all three of the shows. Like if someone gets hurt or there's next to a friend they know. In Seinfeld mainly, this is specifically about Seinfeld. If it was about a breakup or something, and they had to be responsible. Now, mainly, they are not sympathetic or sorry about whatever happened, because they're Seinfeld. They don't care that much. There's no compassion or anything. Like, the thing is, the show Seinfeld didn't end on a high note. Like, it was very normal. No care, no compassion, no sad goodbyes, emotional. There was not much of an emotional roller coaster, I guess you could say, on Seinfeld. And the only reason they were apologized to certain people, whether it was not to the main cast members, any of the main cast members, whether it's a friend or a partner or anyone. They think, even though they think that they didn't do anything, they still say sorry to them or apologize or do anything to make it up to them, because that's what society demands. Yeah, it's not because they want to, because it's like societal things. But if they have to apologize or make it up to the main cast members, they'd be like, oh, get the hell out of here. Like that. Like, oh, get the hell out of here. That's that's how it works. And I think it happens in other comedy sitcoms, but in Seinfeld, this is more intense. This phenomenon, where they have to be like that, Because the thing is, they don't say sorry, make it up to be kind and be a good person to look up to. They do it because they want their appearance, name, reputation to be good. They don't want to be actual good people themselves, truly in the heart. Whereas in Friends, at the TV show Friends, it's not like that. In Friends, the show did end on a high note. It was very emotional. They left and said goodbye. The show had many emotional roller coasters. Very nuanced, yeah. And the shows, the cast members, yeah, the cast members, they had feelings for one another. Whereas in, like, there are 3 males, 3 females, and one of the 3 males, and each of the 3 males, eventually throughout the series, whether it's through the late series or towards the end, they got together with what each male character, main character, got in a relationship with each of the female cast members, 3 of them. Like I think Chandler was with Monica. I think throughout the series, there was many complicated reasons for that. It happens, emotional roller coasters, twists like that, and they got together. It was late in the late throughout the series. I think after several seasons, yeah. And then I think Ross was with Rachel and yeah, like that. And I don't know if Joey was with, I think Joey was with Phoebe. I'm not sure. Yeah, but that was the thing basically. So yeah, I think so. Yeah, the main thing we can get from this is that among the cast members, there was a relationship built between them. It was very strong. Whereas in Friends, it was not strong. Only Jerry and Seinfeld, they got together, but it eventually broke up. It just shows that. So I guess they made at least one relationship pair in Seinfeld among the 4 main cast members to make it seem like, okay, I know there's nothing serious among the cast members, but they thought at least to mention that there was one relationship, and after that just break it off. It just shows at least something happened, even though it broke off the relationship after. At least something happened. Plus there was only one female, so yeah, that's all. Yeah, it's just to create more effect, I guess. But in Friends, it was the intensity of the emotional roller coaster throughout the show was more intense, I guess you could say. The emotional roller coaster throughout the series was more intense. It was more intense, I guess, than Seinfeld, the show Seinfeld. That's fine. And there are more, I guess, I know Seinfeld, how they make it apart to someone, and in Seinfeld, how the main cast members, whenever they have to apologize or make it up to someone who was a friend or a companion or a partner or whatever, but they do it only because society says to save their reputation. Well, in Friends, they also kind of do that, not among the cast members, of course, but with other people, whether it's a friend, partner, whatever. But because it's common, but after the thing is, it happens. But the thing is, the cast members are more sincere about it, I guess you could say. They have more. They're doing it apology with more maturity. It's not just like I'm sorry, just trying to pretend to feel bad. They don't, the cast members, they don't do that, whether it's with some random friend or whatever, any partner. Whether they have to break up with the partner or whatever, talk or negotiate with a friend about anything, but not among the cast members. They do apologize and make it up to them, but with more sincerity, I guess. Because as established, the main cast of the TV show Friends, they do have a strong heart. So I guess they wanted to be more sincere with how to apologize and make up to them, to the friends or partners, whatever. And then they wanted to feel more. They wanted to have more of a heart when they do it, because they don't want to be like, oh, sorry, and all that, this like awkward laughs and stuff. Then they want to do it in the. They want to like. No, they want to do it. They want to feel like they want to do it. It's like it's like in the heat of the moment, but it's not heat. It's like the opposite. It's just calm, love, making peace, amendments, all that, So it's a very good show. Of course, it had more episodes and seasons. It had more episodes and seasons than the TV show Seinfeld, because I guess in order. But yeah, it had 10 seasons, Friends, and Seinfeld had only 9 seasons. But yeah, that's fine, It's good. So yeah, now we have established that Friends and Seinfeld are like totally different. They're the complete opposite. Or the video is 20 minutes long. So you know what? I think I'll just that was just a quick summary I want to give about the two. Now, I'll quickly summarize the Big Bang Theory also. The Big Bang Theory is much more similar to Friends. There's more of an emotional roller coaster. It has 12 seasons, so I guess we can say Seinfeld is the winner. No, look, the Big Bang Theory is the winner, the TV show, in terms of highest intensity of emotional roller coasters, and relationships, the ups and downs, because there are 12 seasons, and I think the Big Bang Theory has the most cast members. Yeah, there are a lot. I think it's 6, right? There's like Sheldon, Leonard, Penny, Amy, Bernadette, Raj, and Howard. So 7. So even though it's just one more main cast member than in Friends, whereas there were 7. So in Seinfeld, in the Big Bang Theory, since there's 7 now, there will still be. Now there's more emotional roller coasters, more intensity, more care. Actually, the main difference is that the Big Bang Theory is more scientific, because Sheldon is very smart. It's about the Big Bang Theory, so there's obviously more. It's mainly comedy and relationships, and it's heartfelt, and there's morals actually in both Friends and the Big Bang Theory. But the thing is, the main difference is that the Big Bang Theory also has some science in, but not everyone is science. Like Penny is not that much of a science person. All the other 6 cast members are. And Penny lets her blend in a little bit. And the Sheldon is also kind of like too much, too sensitive actually. He's like that, because like he's like if someone came from a trip where the people were sick, and he would be like, oh, they will take quick action. But Leonard is like the complete opposite of Sheldon, because the thing is, Leonard would be like, oh, please stop it. She's not infected. She's not showing any symptoms. So what if she came back from the trip where her family were sick? But the thing is, sometimes, in this case, Sheldon was right. The symptoms don't show immediately, so he did the right thing, showed action. But in other instances in the show, where Sheldon overreacts, Sheldon's kind of like George in Seinfeld, kind of overreacts a lot. But the thing is, in certain cases, he is right about his reason, especially since he's a physicist, a well-trained physicist in the show, and a well-trained physicist with a PhD, and also his wife is Amy. And also Amy kind of understands, since she's his wife, and Sheldon's wife is Amy. She also kind of understands, but also she's like neutral. She agrees that Sheldon is overreacts, and she agrees that sometimes Sheldon is right. So sometimes Sheldon is right. So yeah, I think it's even for Amy. But Ryan and Howard are best friends. But the thing is, of course, in all these 3 shows, they have conflicts. But at the end of the day, they have each other. They still care for each other in some way, and that's the best part. So I guess in conclusion, we can say this: let's see. In general, we can say Friends and The Big Bang Theory had actual morals. Seinfeld had no morals. It was a show about nothing. So in terms of the show with the highest emotional sensitivity, I guess we could give it to The Big Bang Theory. And the show with the least emotional sensitivity, and lack of morals belongs to Seinfeld, and Friends is in the middle, which is kind of cool actually, But yeah, so yeah, that's basically it. But yeah, it was a good review. So yeah, so basically in general, each show, they are the best in their own type, whether it's based on, if we rank them based on morals, lack of morals, whether it's based on its funniness or how romantic it is, etc. So this was a comparison. I did a comparison on the basis of emotional sensitivity. So yeah, that's that. So one more thing to mention, I'd say in Seinfeld, George is the most sophisticated, I'd say. I mean, technically at one point all the cast members in all of these main cast members in all these 3 shows do get sophisticated, but I'd say George in Seinfeld and Sheldon in The Big Bang Theory are the most, I guess you could say, self-sophisticated and nuanced, So yeah, because each day, it's like Sheldon learns something new, random topics. He debates on random topics, which no one may not like, because sometimes people like it, sometimes they don't, sometimes they're forced to listen to him because they have nothing better to do. And how George in Seinfeld, sometimes he talks on random topics. Mostly it's interesting, but sometimes it's not. How Jerry has to cope up with him. He deals with it, but certain times he doesn't like the random topics George brings up, like how Superman is, like Aquaman, etc. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, the ranking, and in the comments, let me know what you think the best show is out of these 3: Seinfeld, Friends, The Big Bang Theory, based on your own ranking, and if you agree with me. Peace out.